The Thundurus Incarnate Forme is an electric and a flying type Pokemon in Pokemon Go, but is it going to be worth powering up? Is it going to be worth spending your resources to raid for it, to then power it up, to use it in GBL or as an attacker in Pokemon Go? Let's find out right now. Welcome to the Trader Club, here we go! Thundurus Incarnate Forme is an electric and flying type Pokemon. This Pokemon is going to be pretty cool looking. This is the Incarnate Forme. It also has the Therian form. So what do we do with this Pokemon? Do we raid hard for it? Do we just get the shiny? Or do we power it up for GBL? It's all going to be in this video. If you want to skip over anything, you would check the timestamps and maneuver around quite easily. So this Pokemon, electric and flying type, like I did talk about. It will max out at 3,782. It is not a crazy high Pokemon as far as this goes, but it's going to have an attack value of 266. So a little bit more heavy on that attack. It will have a defense of 164 and a stamina of 188 to put it at a little bit more of an attacker type Pokemon. As far as its weaknesses go, it will have two of them, which are going to be rock as well as ice, which is quite cool. And then as far as its resistances go, it will have resistance to 6 different things, which are going to be bug, fighting, flying, grass, ground, as well as steel. And then as far as the shiny goes on this Pokemon, it is quite a cool looking shiny. It is not the most pronounced different shiny, but I think it is a subtle cool Pokemon, as are all of the incarnate forms. As far as the moveset go, it is going to get Thunder Shock and Astonish. Thunder Shock is a very good electric quick move, so that is positive for this Pokemon. And then as far as its charge moves, it will get Thunder, which is electric. It will get Thunder Punch, also electric. It's going to get Brick Break, which is going to be a fighting type move, and then it will get Crunch. So with this moveset combination, guys, it looks like this Pokemon is very set up for GBL. That does not mean it's going to prevail well in GBL, but its moveset combination looks like it's not getting Wild Charge, which is going to be a meta attacker moveset, but it does get Thunder Shock, which is a great precursor for a meta attacker to be able to come in here. Unfortunately, it doesn't get the strongest meta attacker moveset, but that does not mean it cannot be viable. If you guys do want more of these Pokemon, you can definitely check in the pinned comments or the description of the video and jump into the Discord, totally free to be able to get you more remote raid battles. Or if you are looking for more Premier access, you can jump into the Patreon, jump into the Premier Discord raiders. At the minimum tier, you could get into 2 groups or even get all the way up into Elite and raid with me, be on my friends list, and with my friends. So this Pokemon, we are now going to check out the DPS times TDO. If we're talking about this, what does that mean? Damage per second, how much damage you're doing every single second you're fighting with this Pokemon. Think about quick hard attacks, and then the total damage output, which is TDO, which is over the lifespan of that Pokemon, how much damage are we going to do? We're going to average that and add in a little bit extra to make sure it is the best value, which is going to be called ER. So let's check out what is the best moveset for this Pokemon. So obviously there is a Therian form as well, which if you look at the top, Volt Switch and Thunderbolt. Unfortunately, this Pokemon is not getting Wild Charge, which would make it definitely more viable. Will be at an ER value of 40. Then if we look at the top Incarnate form with Thunder Shock and Thunder at 32.42, so obviously as a meta attacker, the Therian form is going to be better. But if we just look at the Incarnate form, Thunder Shock and Thunder is at the top at 32.42. Then we got the Thunder Punch in there at 32.22. Then we have the Astonish coming in. If we want to see Thunder Shock and Crunch, 28.67. Then we have the Brick Break and 27.67 as well, which is exactly 1 point below the Crunch. And then if we keep going down, we can look at Astonish paired with these Pokemon moveset, but Astonish is not the best ghost type move. If you guys do pay attention to my best of the best videos where I make sure that you guys have the best information available on all of these Pokemon, if you want the whole playlist to see any of the Pokemon that I've done, you can check it out right up here. These Pokemon as meta attackers need to be up into the upper high 30s, if not 40s, if not mid 40s. And if you really want to shake things up, mid 40s to 50s is going to be the top attacker rankings in Pokemon Go, which these Pokemon are not prevailing here. But that doesn't mean that it could be a weaker category in Pokemon Go. So let's see, where does this Pokemon sit as a top meta attacker? At the top of the electric category, we have Shadow Raikou with Thunder Shock and Wild Charge. In the next spot, we actually have Xurkitree with Thunder Shock and Discharge. So the Raikou is going to be 44.46 and the Xurkitree non-Shadow 43.63. Then we have Zekrom coming in close second right there with the Charge Beam and Fusion Bolt at 43.6. And those Pokemon are actually above all of the Mega Electric type Pokemon, which is going to be Mega Manectric Neck with Thunder Shock and Wild Charge at 43.28. Then we have the Shadow Electivire, Shadow Zapdos, Shadow Magnezone, Shadow Luxray. Then the Thundurus in the Therian form at a 40. Then at the bottom we have Mega Ampharos. On the second page, we are now going to look at Raikou, which is going to be 38.48, Electivire 37.12, Zapdos, Shadow Magnezone, and obviously we do not see this Pokemon on this page. So if we go to the third page, we're going to see in the the 22nd spot with the Thundershock in Thunder at 32.42 for the incarnate form of the Thundurus. So obviously, as a meta attacker, we have normal Pokemon and other legendaries above this specific legendary. So as far as a meta attacker, getting 296 XL candy, powering this Pokemon up to max, it is an absolute no for me. Yes, you heard it here. I am going to say no for this Pokemon, but that does not mean it is not a viable GBL, Ultra League, or Master League Pokemon, which is where we're going to transition to now. However, I just wanted to mention that the Therian form is better, but it still does not top the top of the bracket when we are looking at Zekrom and Xurkitree as some of the top meta attackers in the game. So as far as GBL goes, in the Ultra League, it's going to be ranked 333. So that is going to be another no-go for me for this Pokemon. However, we do have one more category where it can come through, is going to be the Master League, but unfortunately it's going to be ranked 116. With the moveset combination though, if you do want this Pokemon, Thundershock, Thunder, and Crunch. So Brick Break is not even the recommended moveset here, and that is going to be where that Pokemon does sit. So analyzing this Pokemon in the GBL, it is a no-go, and definitely as a meta attacker, it is a no-go. So what does this leave this Pokemon as? It is going to be a pretty shiny, a shiny that you probably want just to put into the decks and leave it there. So that's gonna do it for everything today. Appreciate you guys tuning in as always. To all of my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes their support, subscription, and participation to the next level. I'm gonna see you guys out in the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.